Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Petey.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Matt.
I'm Mimi.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We can grow a lot of things on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We're getting our day started off with a chilly morning. We've still got some snow on the ground. By the end of the day, most of this snow should be gone. But even if it's not really that big of a deal. It's nice to see the snow around. First order of business is getting the farm market all cleaned up and set up. The farm market is all set up. We got everything pulled out of the cooler. The girls are now here. They're getting everything ready to open up and making sure some extra things are cleaned. So now that we are all set in here, we can move on to the next job. So far this morning, we've been pretty busy. We've already got the animals all taken care of. Well, I shouldn't say we. Dad already got the animals all taken care of. And in the meantime, we had to run and get propane for the forklift. So two jobs that really needed to be done are already done this morning. And that brings us into the greenhouse. So what do we have going on inside the greenhouse today? Well, the simple answer is whatever Aunt Rhonda wants us to do. Yesterday when we were working in the greenhouse, we got a lot of hanging baskets filled with soil. It's not just the standard baskets that we fill, they were kind of custom baskets. We have the cocoa baskets, and then we also have some wicker baskets. Most of the ones that we filled yesterday will all be for hanging. So we're gonna have to attach hangers to them once they are planted. And then the rest of the time, they've just been working on filling the 4.5-inch pots with flowers. You can see over here, Aunt Rhonda still has quite a stack of pots to be filled, and Dave is planting over there. How do you feel about planting flowers, Dave?
It's a lot better than cutting wood.
I don't know if you guys have seen Dave in quite a while. Dave is my cousin's wife's grandfather. So he's related, and he's helping us out. There are a few other things we are concerning ourselves with today. One is a water line. We're trying to see if we can put a new water line in to make watering our hanging baskets more efficient. If we can make things run more efficiently, then that can save us time that we can put into other jobs. And you know that's important to us. What did we get figured out? Are we gonna hang up the water line?
We have these rails in here. There's 7 rails that run through. We probably hang about 300 baskets on the rails, and they all have to be watered by hand. And now Rhonda has informed me that I have to do watering.
So we're gonna make
it a lot
automatic
easier.
now.
Yeah, we're making it a lot easier now.
Since we have to do the work, we're gonna figure out how to do it automatic.
I don't have time for that. So we're gonna now try and make it automatic so that when Rhonda does have to water, she can do it easily, and then when I have to water, we can also just do it by automatically. Don't have to drag the hose up through there and water those baskets, because those real big baskets we do, you have to takes a lot of time to water them all. So we're trying to save ourselves some time.
And it probably sounds more difficult than it's gonna be. We're just gonna have to go through and get all our pipes hooked up. And then right here we have a automatic watering system that runs off a computer. And we're not using one of the lines, so we figured let's just hook it up to the computer. If the line is hooked up to the computer, that will make things very easy. The computer goes through a program and it turns on each line for the hanging baskets after it's been running long enough. So if we can get it all hooked up on the computer and then it can just run automatically, well, that just makes things a whole lot easier.
We have a bunch of cocoa liners, 16-inch baskets, and a bunch of cone baskets that need to get planted, so we're gonna start working at that.
There is a certain order in which the flowers need to go into the pots. So if we don't do it correctly, we can cause some issues later on. For one, we have to remember root development. We have to make sure that everything has enough space. And two, if we don't put the correct flowers in the right place, well, the basket's just gonna look weird.
All right. Okay, that's rose water. Perfect. Beautiful.
Normally this job is a little bit more difficult because you have to set the flowers up just right, but these are called quick combos, and there are a few different flower varieties in each start. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 here. So I just have to arrange them correctly so that they grow correctly, because there are all different types of flowers in here, and we want to make sure that all of them are growing to their strengths. And they all get really neat names. This one is called Royal Duchess. So this is gonna be a beautiful basket. And we're not just filling up all of the baskets with one kind, we're doing 4 of each in these large cocoa baskets. You will be able to find the Royal Duchess flowers in just regular, like the 12-inch hanging baskets, but we're only doing 4 of these cocoa. This variety I'm putting in now is called Moody Blues, but the interesting thing is we're only doing 6 varieties of quick combos this year. The rest are all gonna be specialized ones that we pick out ourselves. So they're gonna be baskets that we're making ourselves. It's gonna be pretty nice. That's one of our favorite things to do because you get to pick the flowers that go in, you watch them grow, and then when you sell them, you can say, hey, I picked that one out. That was the one I made.
The next 3 quick combos we're doing are pink lemonade, summer jelly, and spring showers, but now we have to find the trays.
And that's not easy to do because you gotta search through all of these to make sure you have the correct one.
Found it.
Pink lemonade?
Yep.
Let's go. That's all the lemonade. You want me to go put this back?
Yeah. Should we do Margarita Villa or Living Perfectly?
Those almost look the exact same.
The difference is the sweet potato vine.
Oh, okay. Before we move on to new baskets, we just want to make sure that everything is covered correctly. So we're gonna water all of these pots that we just made, and then we're gonna come through and add some time-release fertilizer.
We're going shopping. We need Royal Velvet Super Petunias and Royal Magenta Super Petunias. And I already got the sweet potato vine. That. And that's all Cali's. Royal Magenta. We throw 2 of each color petunia and 1 sweet potato vine in. And that may not seem like a lot for one of these cocoa liners, which is 16 inches. But if you give these things 3 months, the plants will be so beautiful that if you had put so many flowers in to start, they would start choking each other out. So when we make these baskets, we want them to last all the way till frost in October or November. And the only way to make that happen is to make sure they're not too crowded in the beginning. Ron, you only do 1 sweet potato vine, right? Right.
Now that we have finished watering, we are adding our time-release fertilizer. This fertilizer is a 13-11-11. Some of you may be wondering why we watered the flowers before we added the time-release fertilizer, because normally you want to add the fertilizer before so that it soaks down in. But the reason why we held off on doing that was because we were concerned that this fertilizer would burn the roots of these young plants. So we did not want a concentration of fertilizer on the roots the second they've been transplanted. Once they have been firmed up a little bit, then it would be okay. But since these were just transplanted, we wanted to water them first and then add the fertilizer on second so that it would be of use next time that we water. Little things like that can save your butt in the long run, because for some reason you added the fertilizer first and then watered them and burned the roots or burn the leaves on your plants. Well, you're not gonna have a fun time. And one last thing I'd like to mention, just because we're using 13-11-11 fertilizer doesn't mean you have to use the same thing. Use whatever works best for you. And the way this stuff is time release is that every time you water, a little bit of it breaks down and goes into the soil. And this is a really nice fertilizer to use in potted plants especially, and stuff that's a little bit more difficult to fertilize later on, like these potted plants. A lot of times these hanging baskets are put up and it's the last time that we touch them. So this time release fertilizer really helps out with that. Now that we're finished with the quick combos, we're moving on to some more cocoa baskets. Now these are a little different because we have to pick out everything that goes into them, as you saw us do earlier. So all I have to do with these is make sure that everything is evenly distributed and that they will have enough root development. Because we are putting 5 plants in here, and it may not seem like a lot to some, but these will grow pretty large, as Matthew mentioned earlier on.
I didn't do them yet. I was gonna do 3
I
of them.
thought we already had too much purple.
Well, the pink star is.
Oh, we want something different than purple. Yeah, I thought we had too much
Well,
purple.
the pink star is not purple.
It's close enough.
Well, I think we put purple with it normally.
Oh yeah. I don't care. He said it was too much purple.
I was trying to find something that wasn't purple. I was doing that.
I don't care.
Star with that blue. Remember that big
The Royal Velvet. I like this one.
Oh, the giant blue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd rather honestly not do this. I think it's gonna be too much.
Okay. That's why it's named after me, right?
What, Bahama Beach?
What is it?
So there's Bahama Beach. I think we should do both, Bahama Beach and Bermuda skies.
I think so too.
Okay, there we go.
I like Calypso.
What? Which blue does it say in that?
Matthew and I just got the last of the cocoa baskets filled with their respective flowers. So now all of these need to be watered, and then I also need to add the time release fertilizer. And then these were the pots that Aunt Bonnie was working on. They needed to be watered, and they also need the fertilizer as well. And that should about finish them off. We got them all watered, and we got our time release fertilizer put on. Now for the smaller green pots, I actually was adding less time release fertilizer. Not much less, but I just wanted to make sure that I had no problems with the leaves burning or the roots. Aunt Rhonda grabbed me and she let me know that she needed some of these square pots filled up, so we're gonna be working on that. And right when we were about to get started, we had a viewer actually show up. He drove 6 hours to come and see us. So we had to spend a little time and say hello. We showed him around the greenhouse a little bit. But now they're on their way, and I'm gonna get back to filling pots. I don't have to run the machine by myself any longer. Gavin has showed up and he is now helping me, which makes this go a lot quicker because now I can just push these trays through and Gavin will take care of them. There we go. We have got a lot accomplished this morning and the alarm just went off. That's telling us it's lunchtime. So we're gonna head up and eat. There is a big difference from being in the greenhouse as opposed to being outside. Let's see, what are we having today? Ooh, we're having sandwiches. Looking good. We also got chips and salsa. And what's this over here? Clam chowder?
Oyster stew.
Oyster stew. Woo-hoo-hoo. We are well into the afternoon and we've been having a pretty good day. Something I appreciate is looking over on the hill and seeing all the cattle are out. Not that they're out, they're like in the pasture, but it's just nice to see them out of the barn. So what have we been working on then this afternoon? Well, we've been working in the greenhouse, we've been planting, and we've been getting our water line put into place. How has everything been going?
Pretty smoothly with a little bit of hiccups, but we made it through with the torch.
Impact driver with enough torque, you can get through anything.
There is hose ran all over this greenhouse, but we've ran 2 long pieces of hose. One along the far side of the greenhouse, and then one right here. And then the hose that is cutting through the greenhouse, it starts on the other end, and then it tees, and as they follow these little cross pieces, we have nice pieces of pipe that we can use to water all the hanging baskets that hang on these. All these cocoa baskets are now ready to be hung up. We still do have to get our lines tapped into our main line, but once we have that finished, then all of these cocoa baskets and a lot of these wicker baskets will be on automatic watering lines. And that should about do it for work today in the greenhouse. We're gonna head up to the farm market. I gotta bring my coffee mug from this morning with me. Once we finished up with the greenhouses, we went inside the farm market and we just closed up for the night. So now we are heading up to the house. We're gonna see what we're having for dinner. I see beans. What do we got in here? Oh, I know what we're having. We're having tacos. What are you doing? Say, riding a horse.
She's like, I'm talking to Miss Rachel.
Callie, what sound does a horsey make? No. Eat. Yeah, we're getting ready to eat dinner. Callie is playing on her new horse that one of the customers brought today. One of our viewers drove a few hours today, besides the other viewer that drove a few hours today. And they brought Callie a horsey. Look at this. Yeah. Things are going to be a little different tonight. Dinner is kind of on the light side. Grammy is still out shopping, and we're all getting ready to eat. Callie, it's okay. It's okay, she's very hungry. So we're gonna sit down and we're gonna eat. And since we're gonna eat, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.